curl ng iyong displacement. Curl contributes to what's called yung rotational na component. Pero hindi na siya coverage ni C18. Pero if you deal with continuum mechanics, mas ma-appreciate mo yung curl. Especially when dealing with sa fluid dynamics is yung turbulence. So mag-aano kasi yung rotational component of the time. Pero back to the topic, displacement gradient. So na-mention na natin na ito ngayon yung gradient natin. So meron kang uj tapos in terms of xi. So this results to a 3 by 3 na matrix. So this one right here if is a 3 by 3 matrix. So paano ba tayo mag-describe na example? So example, meron kang small letter x1 is equals to 2x2 plus 3x3. Tapos, puro capital letter yan. x2 is equals to negative x1 plus x2 plus x3. Right there. Then x3 is equals to negative 3x1 minus 3x2 plus 2x3. So ito ang ating mapping function. So pwede natin siyang i-express in terms of the matrix form. So yung matrix form na to, you have the small letter x right here. Then kukunin mo lang yung coefficient ng bawat isa. So for x1, dito 0. For x2, dito ay 2. Yung x3, coefficient niya ay 3. Sa second equation, coefficient ni x1 is negative 1. Coefficient ni capital letter x2 is 1. Coefficient ni x3 is 1. Sa fourth equation, meron kang negative 3, positive 2. So this is your mapping function. So from a system of equation, nagawa natin siya ng isang matrix equation. So to handle this, labas natin yung calculator natin, then pumunta tayo sa matrix na formulation. So we specify a 3 by 3 matrix. We fill up all of the components of your matrix. So yung 0, 2, negative 3, 1, 1, negative 3, negative 3, and 2. So meron kang matrix right there. Then after that, shape yung matrix, i-call mo lang si matrix A, then erase mo siya sa negative 1, and that will give you yung inverse ng matrix mo. So, if kukunin natin yung inverse ng 0, 2, 3, negative 1, 1, 1, negative 3, negative 3, 2, yung inverse na to ay equal to 5 over 16, negative 13 over 16, negative 1 over 16, negative 1 over 16, 9 over 16, negative 3 over 16, negative 3 over 8. So gawin na natin 6 over 16 para lang may ma-realize tayong one key aspect dyan. So this is 6 over 16 then, negative 6 over 16. Then this is 2 over 16. So ito yung inverse ng matrix natin. So kung familiar tayo, medyo makaka-apekto din yung determinant niya. So yung determinant ng matrix na to is yung 16. So kinuha natin yung inverse nun, meron kang 1 over 16 which yung nag-appear to every term dun sa equation. Pero that thing aside, ito ngayon yung inverse ng ng mapping function mo in terms of the Lagrangian description. Now, meron ka ng mapping function in terms of the spatial description. So, meron kang capital letter x1 is equals to 5 over 16, small letter x1, minus 13 over 16, small letter x2, minus 1 over 16, small letter x. Then you also have the capital letter x. Meron kang negative 1 over 16, small letter x1, plus 9 over 16, small letter x2, minus 3 over 16, small letter x3. Then you also have for x3 na 6 over 16, small letter x1, minus 6 over 16, x2, minus plus 2 over 16, x3. Ito yung mapping function mo in terms of the spatial descriptions. Now, if i-describe na natin yung yung displacement functions. So meron kang material description. So ilagay lang natin yung annotation niya. U is equals to small letter x, tapos in terms of function of x, minus, so ito capital letter x. Right here. Kapag yun yung ginawa natin, you have U1, U2, U3. Idediretso ko na to. Ang magiging itsura niya is merong kang quantity of 0, 2, 3, negative 1, 1, 1, negative 3, negative 3, 2, minus 1, 1, 1, tapos 0 for the rest. Then meron kang capital letter X1, capital letter X2, capital letter X3. This simplifies to negative 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 0, 1, negative 3, negative 3, 1, times capital letter X1, capital letter X2, capital letter X3. Ito yung displacement function mo in terms of the material description. Mag-leave lang ako ng intentional blank between that. So yung spatial description naman will be U is equals to small letter x minus yung capital letter X as a function of the small letter x. So yung magiging expression mo ngayon is U1, U2, U3 is equals to kung ano yung nakuha mo, spatial description kanina. So 5 over 16, negative 13 over baliktad. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So yung identity matrix natin minus 5 over 16, 13 over 16, negative 1 over 16, negative 1 over 16, 9 over 16, negative 3 over 16, 6 over 16, negative 6 over 16, 2 over 16 times the small letter x's. So x1, x2, x3. This simplifies further to ito mauuwi to be equal to 11 over 16, 13 over 16, 1 over 16, 1 over 16, 7 over 16, 3 over 16, negative 6 over 16, 6 over 16, 14 over 16. So 14 over 16. Ito yung displacement functions mo in terms of the spatial description. So take note yung dito, yung 3x1 matrix dyan is yung mga small letter x. U1, U2, and And typically, yung may encounter, if binigay sa inyo yung mapping functions na linear, is that if kinuha natin yung displacement gradient is basically this matrix right here. Again, pag sinabi mo ng displacement gradient and beyond, puro in terms of the material descriptions na tayo. So this is your displacement gradient. If, syempre, linear lahat. Linear yung mga coefficients. Kasi kung non-linear yan, mahihirapan ka pa. Hindi agad yan yung displacement gradient na makukuha mo. So, displacement gradient is simply taking over kung ano yung itsura niyan. Then, kung ano yung nakuha mo na matrix from the earlier operations. Then, we proceed into identifying yung tinatawag na finite strain tensor. The finite strain tensor, which is denoted to be equal to epsilon, is equal to 1/2 nung gradient kanina plus its inverse. So, ito yung Einsteinian notation niya. So, how do we express this in terms of the initial notations? So, ganito yung tsura niya. Partial of ui with respect to capital letter xj plus partial of uj with respect to partial of capital letter xi. And taking the sum, then multiplying by 1/2, you'll have your finite strain tensor. So, meron ka ng finite strain tensor. So, gagawin lang natin is 0.5 plus yung na-identify natin na so sa calculator nyo, pwede kayong mode, tapos matrix, then set up natin si matrix B. Set natin siya to be a identity na matrix. So, ang gagawin nyo lang is meron kang matrix A minus matrix B. You'll have your displacement gradient. Pero after that, kapag nilagin natin mga values na yan, so meron kang, so this is equal to 1/2, yung kanina, ipa-plugin na natin yung given, times yung displacement gradient natin in terms of the material description. So, like 1, 2, 3, -1, 0, 1, -3, -3, 1, right here, multiplied by its, added to its transpose. So, -1, -1, -3, 2, 0, -3, 3, 1, 1. Right there. So, taking those values, so meron kang 1, -1 plus -1 is -2 divided by 1/2, -1. Tapos meron kang 2 plus -1, which is 1/2, multiplied by 1/2. So meron kang 1/2 right here. Tapos 3 plus -3, 0. So 0 na yung term na yan. Yung for the second row naman, -1 plus 2 is 1/2. Divide mo sa 2, meron kang 1/2 dyan. 0 plus 0 is 0. Divide mo by 1/2, it's still 0. Then you have 1 plus -3, which is equal to -2, multiplied by 1/2, meron kang -1 right there. Then -3 plus -3 is 0. Kahit i-multiply mo pa ng 1/2, it's still equal to 0. And you have -3 plus 1, kung ano man yung sum noon, which is 2. na multiply mo sa 1/2, you'll have negative 2 yun. So that you'll have negative 1. Then you have 1 plus 1 equals 2 divided by 2 is still 1. So this is your finite strain tensor with the given na mapping function. So ito yung finite strain tensor na. Oops, may papasok lang sa room. Teka lang. Limit lang natin si Ethan saka si BJ. Okay. So ito yung process natin from defining into defining strain tensor. We use yung strain tensor into defining by knowing first yung displacements, then after that yung mga positions through the mapping functions, kinuha natin yung displacement through the displacement functions, then kinuha natin yung displacement gradient, which I already highlighted here, and ito yung details niya kung paano nakuha. Then after that, you'll arrive at the finite strain tensor. So ano-ano ba yung properties ni finite strain tensor? Si finite strain tensor is kung meron kang EIJ right here, equal siya sa transpose niya, which is true. So parang parallel siya sa Cauchy stress tensor na si sigma ij is equals to sigma ji. So ano-ano pa ba yung parallel niya? Actually, yung parallel niya, meron pa rin tinatawag na principal strain. So sa principal strain, you're also doing the same notation. So what you wanted to find is you have a strain field na epsilon ij. Then you take yung strain vector. So you cut a surface right here with vector normal n right here. Then after that, meron kang exposed na tinatawag na ilalagay ko na lang na ganito, na strain na vector. Right here. So similar din naman siya. So meron kang ganito. So Ti is equals to epsilon ij times nj. Ito yung strain vector. So maraming similarities with the stress. Yung kung may stress vector, may strain vector, then at the same time, meron ka ring ma-expose na plane on which meron kang ma-identify na mga maximum strain. Yun yung ating principal strain. So similar lang din yung natin definition, you'll have the principal strain invariance. Yung strain invariance natin, so rather than dealing kung paano yung eigenvalue analysis, pwede na nating diretsuhin sa identification ng strain invariance. So maglalagay ako dito ng yung first I1 is equals to yung trace ng strain tensor natin. So this is yung epsilon II. I2 epsilon is equals to 1/2 trace ng strain tensor squared minus trace ng epsilon squared. Term na yan. Wait. Balik natin. So, ganito. Which is equals to epsilon ij minus epsilon ij epsilon ji. Then you have the third principal invariant, which is yung determinant ng iyong strain tensor. So meron kang epsilon 1 I, epsilon 2 J, epsilon 3 K. Tapos yung permutation symbol mo is ito. EIJ. Ito yung determinant. Then after that, what you'll be setting up is yung principal, yung characteristic equation mo. So, minus I1 epsilon tapos lambda epsilon squared plus I2 epsilon lambda epsilon then plus minus I3 epsilon is equals to 0. What you'll define here are the principal strain invariants. Then with principal strain, meron kang principal claim. So these are your eigenpairs. So i-carry over natin yung example from earlier. So nakuha mo na yung strain tensor right there. So ilagay lang natin siya sa calculator natin. So teka lang. Mode then matrix, pa-plug in lang natin yung value ng ano natin, strain tensor natin. So negative 1, 1 half, 0, 1 half, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, positive 1. So yan, yung matrix natin. So kunin natin yung ano, so from the example, meron kang I1 to be equal to the sum of the principal, sum of the main diagonal, which is yung trace. So negative 1 plus 0 plus positive 1 is equal to 0. Yung I2 natin, bago tayo umabot sa I2, so yung first term, so I2 is equal to 1 half trace ng epsilon squared, which we already know to be equal to 0 minus trace ng epsilon squared. So, kailangan natin makuha yung epsilon squared. So, pwede natin kunin yung matrix na nagawa natin, then squared na lang natin siya. Then, meron kang tatlong terms. So, lalagay ko lang muna yung trace ng epsilon squared is equals to 1.25 plus 1.25 plus 2. So, this is equals to 4.5. So, negative 4.5. So, item mo ngayon is meron kang negative 4.5 divided by 1 half and you'll have negative 2.25. Then balikan natin yung yung matrix. So shift, determinant, tapos call natin si matrix A sa calculator. Yung I3, pwedeng diretso, makukuha mo is 0.75, which is ang I3 natin. Yung characteristic equation mo therefore will be equal to Q. 0 na yung second the term. So pwede na tayong dumiretso kay I2. 2.25 lambda epsilon minus 0.75 is equals to 0. So this time, gagamitin natin yung equation na term. So lalagay lang natin yung coefficient. So yung sa A is 1, B is equals to 0, C is negative 2.25, 4 is equals to 0.75. Then you'll be given mga roots. So meron kang lambda 1 to be equal to negative 1.64 plus lambda 2. So in second the principal invariant, meron kang 1.29. Lambda 3 is meron kang 0.35. So ito yung principal na strain natin. Ito yung mga principal strains. Nga lang, hindi pa natin alam yung eigenpair ng bawat isa. So, ito try natin. Lambda 1, epsilon is equals to negative 1.64. So, anong kahihinatnan ng eigenvalue natin? So, pag binawas natin siya doon, meron kang negative 2.64. Sorry. So, kung ima-minus mo pala siya, so negative 1.64. So, this will become 0.64, 1.64, then 2.64. Then take over lang natin yung rest of the terms. Meron kang 0.5. Tapos negative 1, negative 1, 0.5, 0, 0. So ito yung ano mo, epsilon minus yung principal strain. And ang target natin is malaman ano yung plane niya. So 2, 1, 3, 1 is equals to 0. So dahil hindi natin puro dependent equations to, we have to assume first either of the three is equals to 1. So ito set up lang natin to be equal to 1 so that yung second equation is meron kang negative n21 plus 2.64 is equals to 0. So si n21 ngayon ay equal to 2.64. Planted. Yes, kompleto. Now, punta tayo sa unang equation. So, meron kang 0.64. So, pwede mong gamitin yung dalawa dun sa tatlong equation. So, meron kang 0.64 and 1 plus 0.5 and 2.1 is equals to 0. And if sinubstitute mo sa n21, 0.5 times 2.64 is equals to 0. Si N1 ngayon ay simply equal to 2.64 times 0.5 divided by 0.64, you'll have negative 2.0625. So, yung ano mo, hindi pa na-normalize the vector mo ay ganito. So, negative, positive, positive, negative 2.64, then positive, negative 1. Ito yung una mong eigenvalue, eigenvector na na hindi pa normalized. So kung kukunin natin yung magnitude niya, so kukunin mo lang yung magnitude nito is equals to 3.496. So, divide mo lang by 3.496 para makuha yung actual na eigenvector niya. So, 2.0625, 3.496, meron kang 0.59, tapos 2.64 divided by 3.496, meron kang 0.76, then 1 divided by 3.496, meron kang 0.29. Again, this is negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative. So ito yung una mong eigenpair. So sa 0.64 and this one right here. Then rinse and repeat for the rest of the procedure. Oo, kasi we will be discussing next is yung constitutive equation. Pero so far, may questions ba? Stop share muna. So questions, gallery view. Malinaw naman sa lahat. So ganun lang din yung straight. Sige, mag-unmute lang kung gustong magtanong. Wala, so far. Yes, yung na-normalize yung lahat ng final answer. Yung kahit sa stress na principal stress at saka yung principal plane niya, ino-normalize lahat. Okay. Sige, if there are none, we proceed with constitutive equation. Ito yung nagde-define ng relationship between ano yung nire-relate ni constitutive equation? Stress sa strain. So sa stress and strain, initially, you have yung stress is a 3 by 3 na matrix. So this is a second order tensor. Strain then is 3 by 3 na matrix. So basically, you have 9 terms here and you wanted to convert into the 9 terms there. So initially, what you'll have is yung elasticity na equation. So sigma ij is equals to EIJKL right here. Then meron kang teka lang. EIJK tas meron kang epsilon KL. Yan, ganyang kahaba na equation. So, initially, meron kang 81 9 by 9 na matrix. So, 81 na term siya. Diba? Parang dilemma. Ang dami natin kailangang isolve. Parang matataranta na tayo. Kakaisip pa lang nun. Pero don't worry. There are some simplifications. So, ano yung unang simplification or ano yung madederive natin na na simplifications from those? So, sa simplifications na yun, we already know that sigma ij is equals to kung ano yung niya, original, equal lang siya dun sa transpose niya. Masaya tayo doon. Yung unang relationship. Tapos, ano pa yung nakuha natin from the strain? Yung original ng strain is equals lang dun sa transpose lang din niya. So, iikli ngayon yung mga terms natin. So, initially, 81 elements. Tapos, since ito siya, nakuha natin to, na-reduce siya from 81 to 54. Then, with this relationship from 54, naging 36 na lang siya. And, itong nilista natin na conditions are what's called yung isotropy. So, ito yung isotropy. So, 36 elements. Paano pa ba natin siya ma-express? So, imagine na itong elasticity tensor natin, although sa lecture slides ay CIJKL yung yung nakalagay, ilalagay ko lang na EIJKL para alam natin at this is yung elasticity na tensor natin, can be decomposed into tatlong terms. So sa tatlong terms, meron kang lambda. Lambda right here is not your principal stress. Kung wala kang subscript, kung lambda lang siya, this is simply a scalar that describes what's called yung bulk modulus of elasticity. This is yung Lahm's constant. So yung Lahm's constant is lambda right here. Then kailangan mo lang siya i-multiply by dalawang Kronecker delta. Then may introduce din tayo na ito naman due to the strain. So due to the strain, meron tayong mu. Mu right here is your molecular viscosity. And since we're describing yung parang strain na component, sorry, yung shear ring na part, so yung subscript niya is IK plus JL plus IL tapos JK plus meron ka pang kappa right here. This is for the rotational na component. So, pero eventually, magdi-diminish din tong term na to. IK, JL minus IL, JK. So, this resembles, that term resembles that ng curl. So, ano siya, nakadecompose siya dun sa volumetric, deviatory, and yung rotational na component. Parang ano yung magiging changes ng positions or ng ano yung magiging strain mo as a result of a combination of these three actions. But given yung isotropy, ang mangyayari is that yung elasticity tensor mo would reduce to these terms right here. Delta IJ tapos delta KL. So ito siya, nag-combine lang yung dalawa. Kasi pwede mo nga mapag-flip. Remember, if this is the case, so if ito yung case, so lalagay lang natin to IJ. So therefore, yung EIJKL ay equal to EJIKL. Yun lang yung kino-communicate dyan. So meaning, pwede mo mapag-flip yung I at saka yung J dito. So this in turn, ayusin lang natin. Walang magbabago for the Lamb's constant, yung kasama ng Lamb's constant, IJ plus KL. Pero upon the realization na itong I at saka J ay pwede palang mapag-flip, so mangyayari dun sa term na yon is meron kang mu is equals to mu delta JK plus IL plus delta JK plus delta IL. So like terms ito, this becomes 2 delta JK delta IL. Yun yung mangyayari dyan. Tapos, itong term na sunod, kung pwede pala mag-flip si I at saka si J. So this is JK, tapos this is IL minus IL and JK. This becomes 0. Yun yung implications nito part nito. So, nag-condense ngayon sa elasticity tensor mo to be equal to IJ, KL plus 2 mu delta JK delta IL. Yan na yung naging reduction niya. Tapos, meron pa siyang sinasabi na epsilon KL is equals to epsilon NK. If that is the case, kapag pinasok na natin siya doon sa relationship, so from this relationship right here, so meron kang sigma ij is equals to yung buong term na to. So, ij, kl, so plug in lang natin siya. Tapos plus 2 mu jk, tapos il. Tapos meron kang epsilon KL dito. And anong mapapansin natin? Si K ay nandito, tapos si I at saka si L ay nandito. So, ang magiging transformation niya, top, uh, sige, expand pala muna na. Distribute natin si epsilon KL. So, meron kang lambda, delta IJ, delta KL, epsilon KL, plus 2 mu, delta JK, delta IL, epsilon KL. Right there. And anong property nga ng Kronecker delta? Kino-convert niya yung mga coefficient. So for example, meron kang KL dito sa part na to. So pareho sila ng L or pareho silang may K, pareho silang may L dito. So mangyari is meron kang lambda, epsilon ij, epsilon kk. Tapos ito, merong K, so mako-convert yung K to J, merong L, mako-convert yung L to I. So meron kang 2 mu epsilon Ji. Right there. Pero alam natin na epsilon Ji is equals to epsilon Ij. So kung i-flip natin yan, meron kang ganitong term. So ito yung tinatawag mo na constitutive equation. You now have something that relates stress to strain. Parang madali, di ba? And syempre, anong concern natin dito? Paano natin maka-quantify si lambda? Paano natin maka-quantify si mu? So, at you have encountered in 102 is the material property is described in terms of the following parameters. This is your modulus of elasticity. And yung Poisson's ratio. So si lambda at saka si mu is defined by those two parameters. Wait lang po. Hello po. Yeah. Kaya lang nagkaklas ako. No muna. Maybe later. Ayun, may tumawag lang. So meron kang lambda, which is equals to the Poisson ratio, E over 1 plus Poisson ratio plus 1 minus 2 Poisson ratio. Right there. So ito na yung tatandaan natin. I would advise na ito kailangan nating tandaan. Mas convenient kung ganito natin siya isa-solve rather than using yung mahabang equation right there. Yung mahabang equation na magsasprang up na makikita nyo sa study guide ninyo. Then meron kang mu which is equals to 1 over 2, 1 plus mu. Right. So ito ngayon yung iyong Lenz's constant. So meron kang lambda at saka meron kang mu sa constitutive equation. So if, for example, yung given ay yung strain field natin kanina. So ano yung strain field natin? So ilagay lang natin dito. Sulat lang natin. Epsilon ij is equals to, sige, ano naman, memorable enough naman. So Kalimutan ko agad, memorable daw. Negative 1, 1/2, 1/2, 0, 0, 0. So, matatalo na ako sa game ng memory. So, 1, 1, 1. Right there. So, ito ang epsilon ij natin. For example, given yan, tapos binigyan ka ng 200 gigapascal. So, still. Tapos, yung natin, concentration natin is equals to 0.28. So, sample lang naman yan. So, pwede natin i-solve si lambda. So, 0.28 times 200 divided by 1 plus 0.28 divided by 1 minus 0.56. And you'll have lambda is equals to 99.43 GPA. Then you'll have mu is equals to 200 divided by 2 divided by 1 plus mu. So this is equals to 78.125 GPA. So paano natin siya i-operationalize? So ang target natin is malaman si sigma ij. So pwede nyo imaginein siya na ito yung gusto mong ma-solve, yung matrix, which is yung sigma ij, equal siya sa lambda sigma kk. So kailangan natin makuha yung sigma kk, yung trace. Yung trace ay equal to 0. So 0 na pala yung term na to. So 0 times yung lambda is 99.43 times yung delta ij, which is your identity matrix. So 0 lang yan, pero ilalagay ko lang para mapakita ko paano siya ginagamit. Tapos plus 2 mu. So 2 times 78.125 times yung epsilon ij. So this is negative 1, negative 1/2, 0, negative 1/2, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, negative 1. So, since etong term na to ay equal to 0 na, yung matitira na lang is ito, sa pag-solve natin. So, meron kang, pupunta tayo sa matrix. So, matrix A, tatawagin natin si matrix A. Yung matrix na nakuha natin, talaga kailangan specify ulit Lungkot naman. So, pwede na negative 1 times 78.125. So, 2 times 78.125, meron kang 156.25 negative. Tapos, 1/2 is 0.5 times 2 times 78.125, you'll have negative 78.125, negative 78.125, 0, 0, negative 156.25, negative 100, this is 0, negative 156.25, positive 156.25 GPA. Ito ngayon, yung resultant na stress tensor mo from the given strain tensor. So we have come a very long way na binigyan tayo ng final position in terms of the coordinates of the initial position. We then get the displacement functions from those. So from the mapping functions given, then we have derived the displacement gradient from the displacement functions. Then we have derived the finite strain tensor from the displacement gradient. And after getting the finite strain tensor, knowing yung consecutive equation from earlier and yung mga given na material properties, binigyan tayo ng stresses. These are the stresses that cause that those displacements that we have described earlier. So yun yung full circle ng continuum mechanics. Although this is only 1/2 of the consecutive equation, if ang concern natin is binigyan tayo ng stress, although binibigyan naman talaga ng course, itong course na to tayo ng stress, pero kung may given na stress, na problem, and pinapahanap sa inyo strain, paano mo kukunin yung inverse ng constitutive equation mo? So ito, again, ang ating constitutive equation, sulat ko lang din dito ulit, rewrite ko lang, ij plus 2 mu epsilon ij right here. So gusto mo makuha in terms of strain. So at first glance, parang sasabihin mo na, okay na gawin kong i-treat ko to as algebraically na merong ganito, 2 mu, tapos meron kang lambda, sigma ij, tapos minus lambda epsilon kk delta ij right there. Kadalasan ito yung pitfall. Nakokontento na sa ganito sa pagsosolve, which is not the case. This is incorrect. Because existent pa yung strain na tensor sa right-hand side ng equation, whereas ang nahanap na natin is yung strain na tensor dito. So, how do we tackle this? We first have to do what's called contraction. So, yung contraction is if binigyan ka ng epsilon ij, sigma ij, iko-contract mo lang such that kinukuha mo yung trace. Sigma ii. So, substitute mo lang from that equation sa constitutive equation natin. Sigma ii is equals to lambda epsilon kk delta ii plus 2 mu epsilon ii. So, wala ka ng free na index dito. Lahat ay dummy index na. Meaning, yung epsilon ii ay equal kay epsilon kk. Kasi trace lang naman yung tinutukoy natin. And what you'll have is lambda epsilon ii plus 2 mu multiplied by the quantity of epsilon kk. Palitan lang natin to ng lambda kk right here. And si lambda ii, kinukuha natin yung trace ng identity matrix natin. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equals to 3. So yung epsilon kk natin ay equal to, baliktad. So hinahanap natin is in terms of epsilon kk is equals to sigma kk over 3 lambda plus 2 mu. Which yung pwede na natin i-substitute sa incorrect na equation kanina. So 1 plus 2 mu is equals to sigma ij times lambda sigma kk. So nawala na yung yung strain apart, naging stress na siya. And over 3 lambda plus 2 mu, then you have delta j. So ito na ngayon yung strain in terms of stress. The reason why I'm recommending this so that hindi na kayo mag-deal with 6x6 na matrix. Parang malulula kayo. Ang daming matrix kung chinek yung study guide. Parang pinapa-recommend na 6x6 matrix. Pero pwede mong diretsahin na using this equation. So for example, given yung strain stress na tensor natin, binigyan ka ng 200 so binigyan ka ng 0.2 GPA, tapos binigyan ka ng negative 0.125, negative 0.125, 0.1, ito ay 0, then halimbawa this is 0.125, 0.125, this is 0.3. Ito yung sigma ij natin, GPA yung units, para consistent siya dun sa na-identify natin na Lames coefficient. So, kung yung pa rin yung given, so 200 GPA pa din, tapos nung yung Poisson's ratio is 0.28 pa din. So yung makukuha natin na lambda will remain the same. So lambda is 99.43. Then yung mu natin is 78.125. So both are in GPA. So pwede na natin siyang i-plug in sa equation. So sigma ij is 1 over 2 mu. So nakaabang na lang sa bandang dulo. Tapos ilagay natin si sigma ij. So nandito lang to. So maling parenthesis. So 0.2, 0.125, 0, 125, 1, 125, 0, 125, 3. Then minus, yung lambda ngayon is 99.43 times 0.6 divided by 3 lambda. So 399.43 plus 2, 78.125. Then ito ay nakamultiply sa identity na matrix. So, solve lang natin, simplify lang natin yung bawat term. So, 99.43 times 0.6 divided by 3 times 99.43 plus 2 times 78.125. You'll have 0.13. Maliit. Maliit yung lalabas na value. Sige. So, meron kang epsilon ij is equals to 2 mu. And magiging itsura, magiging laman niya is still 0.2, negative 125, 0.125, negative 0.125, 0, 0.1, 125, 125, 0.3, 0, minus, naka-identity na matrix na siya, so 0.131, 0.131, 0.131, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then performing the operations, you'll have you basically have yung magre-remain ay 0.069, 0.125, 0, negative 0.125. Then this one is negative 0.031, 0, 0, 0.125. Ay, sorry, hindi 0 tong isa. 0.125 0.3. Ngayon, i-divide mo na lang siya sa 2 mu. Ay, sa 1 over 2 mu. So, sa 1 over 2 mu, so 0.69 divided by 78.125 divided by 2. So, meron kang so, identify lang natin yung bawat isang term. 4.416. Mamaya na natin i-determine, isulat. Mamaya ko na isulat yung units. 0.125 divided by 78.125 divided by 2. Meron kang 8, negative 8, negative 8, negative 8, positive 8 pala. 8, then 0.3 divided by, wait, nakalimutan ko yung minus. So, meron kang 169 right there. So, 169 divided by 2 divided by 78.125. Meron kang 1.0186. Then yung gitna is 0.31 divided by 78.125 divided by 2. Meron kang negative 1.9840 times 10 to the negative 4. Ito yung ating strain na tensor. So, mas convenient siya kaysa kung yan natin. Uh, kung gagawin natin yung nakastate sa study guide natin. So, it has come a long way. Then, isang, binigay, since meron kang constitutive equation, and meron kang stress, and meron kang strain, siya rin yung nagre-relate sa principal stress sa kay principal strain. So kapag pinlagin mo sa constitutive equation yung principal stress, ang makukuha mo is yung principal strain. Tapos, kapag kinuha mo yung principal plane, principal plane din ito, equal yung makukuha mo sa dalawa. So ito yung makukuha mo na relationship. So halimbawa, nakuha mo na yung principal stress, no need to convert pa yung Cauchy stress tensor mo to strain tensor, tapos sa kamukunan ng principal strain. Pwede mo nang idiretso sa constitutive equation. So, pwede mong gawin ay, ano nga, so, pwede mong sabihin na sigma P ij is equals to lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. So, ito yung iyong principal stress na tensor. Tapos ito naman yung principal strain na tensor mo naman. Zero, 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 zero. So, pwede mong gamitin si constitutive equation para ma-convert diretso from that to this. So, I believe ito yung buong coverage ng fourth long exam ni C18. So, any questions so far? Raise lang ng hand and unmute or pwede namang i-refer sa chat yung questions natin. Wala ng questions? Sige, I'll try releasing some examples. Mangyari naman sa problem set nyo ay merong guided saka unguided pa rin. So yun yung paglalaanan nyo ng oras during class hours sa Thursday. Then we'll have the exam on Monday. It's still on the same room. So 411 pa din, 4 to 7 p.m. pa din. Sir, pwede naman gamitin yung 6x6. Again, mas mahirap siya i-set up. Kasi pwede mo magamit yung 6x6. Nakalimutan ko yung formula for lambda at saka mu. So meron namang provided na material si course na telling yung generalized Hooke's law. Hindi F to F sa Thursday. Parang kahit you can occupy yung room to do your seat work and do some discussions amongst yourselves. Pero wala hindi mandatory yung F to F. Wala rin naman ako sa Thursday. please expect na, hindi, parang iset nyo na rin na yung expectations nyo na kung ano man yung ibigay sa inyo na problem set, i-targetin nyo na ma-solve during class hours. Parang yun na rin yung magiging preparation for the exam. So, asking you 2 hours of your time, so class hours naman yon on Thursday, to sit in and attack yung binigay sa inyo sa problem set. And after that, pwede na kayo mag-focus sa other exams. Okay. May tanong pa? If there are none, so thank you for attending today's class. So actually, ito na yung last ng lecture natin. Kailan po marirelease yung other courses sa SA2 and SA3? Yung SA2 ay pwede kong ibigay sa inyo during the exam day or pwede nyo puntahan sa faculty room tomorrow para maklaim yung SA2. Except to nung mga na nag-makeup exam. So, yung nag-makeup exam na kay Ma'am Dora pa yung papel. So, yung problem na lang yung chinechekan doon. Sir, paano po pag may exam sa 163 sa Monday? Kailan yung exam sa 163? Anong oras? 4 to 6:30. So, 4 to 7 yung exam. As long as nagsa-stagger, so you can start right away at 6:30. Pwede kayong mag-late exam. Nga lang 9:30 kayo matatapos. Okay? Pwedeng ganun yung arrangements. Yung time is, sir, anong gagawin sa mga next meetings after ng SA4? Actually, wala na tayong meetings after that. So, mag-aalat na lang since 27, I believe sa 30, May 30 yung inyong, yung mga makeup exam for SA3 and SA4. Diretso final exam. Pagkatapos ng SA4. And yung final exam is during finals week na ng schedule. So you basically have around 2 to 3 weeks to prepare for the final exam. 6 mini problems yung final exam. Pero syempre, targetin natin na makabawi pa lang sa paparating na exam. Given yung answer sa final exam, we decided na para mas maging mabait sa partial points. Pero again, mas maganda full points ba din kung tamang sagot naman yung ibibigay sa final exam. I believe maraming tataranta na bakit hindi nakukuha yung parang nadi-dissuade na magtuloy dun sa problem pag hindi nakukuha yung na-expect na answer. Kaya hindi muna given yung answer. Ang mulcho ay yung removal exam. Nabaliktad ko ata. Final exam yung mulcho. Then, removal exam yung mulcho. Then, final exam yung mini problem. Pero sige, i-announce naman namin, pag-uusapan namin yan after ng fourth long exam. Coverage of lahat. So, hindi pa kami nagde-decide kung ano yung mga i-cover sa final exam. Pero expect nyo na lahat ng topics ay potentially mako-cover. Siyempre, big chunk pa din doon ay expect na yung big chunk and yung mahirap na chunk ng final exam nyo is yung plain structural analysis na part. Pero by the looks of it, na-upload naman yung SA2 grades with the exception of yung problem ko na lang pala yung hindi, na-upload ko na ata yung sa upload ko na yung sa part problem 2 ng exam 3. So nakikita nyo naman din yung grades nyo na nag-update over time. Okay, may tanong pa ba? Ang wala na? Sige, thank you for attending today's class. So, kita-kits tayo kung magpapakonsult kayo tomorrow. So, makikita nyo naman ako tomorrow. Then, sa Monday, makikita din tayo sa Monday. So, sa grades of may mapul pa. Grades of nandun ba yung previous presets? Yung mga na-checkan so far, lalabas siya. So, nakasort na yon na parang per quarter. So, merong quarter for the first part, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So, nandun naman na yung mga computations so far. So, hanggang third quarter, I believe yung meron nang lumalabas sa grades. Okay tayo? Sige, good luck sa inyo sa Thursday. So, ready ko na rin yung problem set nyo. And kung magpapakonsult and again, huwag mahiyang magtanong. Sige. Afternoon sa inyong lahat and class dismissed.
Thank you po, sir.